Lived just off of Jefferson, right behind, down the street from Dudley Hughes Funeral Home. I had dropped them off so they could sit around and talk. I told them, I'm going to the theater and I'll be back when I'm finished. Okay.
Yeah, but when you got to the theater, when was this?
Movie?
No, what year?
Oh, November 22, 1963.
And what time the JFK deal happened and a specific day?
November, same day.
About what time?
Oh, what time of day? It seemed like he expired at 1 o'clock, so it was sometime before that when the shooting.
So you got to see Oswald afterwards, after
the president was shot.
About around what time was this?
If you recall hearing about any of the research, he left downtown. He got a cab, he got a bus, he made his way back into Oak Cliff. He went to his rooming house, changed clothes, got a weapon, and started walking. He eventually went over toward Jefferson Boulevard and wound up going down Jefferson and Hampton, is that? No,
Yeah.
not Hampton, Zane.
Avenue.
Jefferson and Zane Boulevard.
Okay, but this is you were 18 years old.
18, a week away from 19th birthday.
Okay, but when you saw the guy in your instinct, do you felt something abnormal or on the human instinct,
No.
or you just saw him like a regular human being person?
I can't relate him to being, gee, I wonder if that's a shooter.
Never knew.
That,
He tried to sit right next to you.
yeah.
Oswald, what was his last name?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald. And how old he looks when he was trying to sit next to you?
20 some odd.
20 something.
Because I saw him on TV after being arrested. They paraded him on TV at
What's the name of the theater, the movie theater that you were in?
Texas Theater in Oak Cliff.
And what movie you were watching?
Cry of Battle, War is Hell.
And you got upset because they turned the lights on in the middle of the show.
Right? When the film is on the screen, it's supposed to be dark in a theater.
Yeah.
So when the lights came on, I gave them 5-6 seconds. Then I got up to go to the lobby to people I know and ask them, why did that happen? But I didn't see anybody.
But you say when they turned the lights on, it was the manager of the theater with the, or who was right there? How they find out he was there?
I didn't see that part because I'm already got up and
Okay.
went to the lobby. But an officer came out on stage
Okay.
with an employee, and they're looking, and they pointed, the employee did, and Oswald was sitting in the center section to the back. I didn't see that part because I'm in the lobby.
What you saw afterwards when they took him out of there?
I found out what happened later by reading it, seeing pictures. But they carried him out of the building just in front of me while I'm standing in the lobby.
And why he was yelling at?
And he was yelling, I
screaming.
protest this police brutality.
And what was the brutality back in the day?
Because they had him handcuffed and carried him out the door. They're not
No brutality like
they're
they
not
were.
holding his hand. They're not being brutal. He just didn't like the way they're handling him.
But the other thing, you say you saw another Oswald on the back door. There was a motion.
Research that I read told me that at the same time, police were carrying Oswald, who they got in the auditorium, carried him out the front door and put in a squad car. Another arrest was going on in the back alley because it was another guy who looked like Oswald. They carried him away.
You never got to see that.
No, I didn't see it because I'm in the lobby.
Yeah.
I'm behaving myself. Police are everywhere. Somebody took my name down. Did you see anything? I told him what happened to me on the inside. That guy was sitting 2 seats from me. I didn't know who he was. I didn't relate him to being involved in a shooting downtown.
But the police took your name for the record.
Yeah. Some people who were still in the auditorium, they saw what happened. They might have wanted to take them downtown so they could get a statement.
You weren't taken downtown.
Not me. No.
But you aware that you're part of the big history in your lifetime back in the days or nowadays?
63. No, it happened back then, and since then, the former curator, the late curator of the Texas School Book Depository, they have tours in that building nowadays. He asked me to come down, and they wanted to do an interview and put it on tape. They call it into their audio archives.
Yes, sir.
Of people. What do you know? Where were you? And I told them my story. My grandkids can go down there and request, I'd like to see the video of Jack, who was in the theater when Oswald was arrested.
What is your last name, Jack?
Jack Davis.
Jack Davis is you're part of the history, believe it or not. The big history.
Part.
And how was the movement for the police officers and everything? Never seen before, because he was one of the most loved presidents of the United States, killed in Dallas.
Yep. I didn't see the scuffle with Officer McDonald inside, who took the gun away from him, wrestled him, got a cut on his cheek, and he walked by in front of me also, cussing a little bit as he walked out.
As a regular police officer.
Because he had a scuffle inside.
Oh.
And I didn't see it, but I've read so many things about who did what happened to this one and this one and this one, people like that.
That's a
Over
great.
so many years. I've got a book on my couch now that I read through. I forgot the name of it. But
How old are you now? Are you forgetting things?
79.
79. You used to have a nice and clear memory like a 15-year-old.
About that incident, anyway.
But it's great, and thank you for sharing with all the
I tell
Mexicanos.
people every now and then about it. They have people selling things down
Yes,
on
I saw.
downtown. One day I stopped by, I'm looking around, and I saw a guy selling books and pictures, whatever. And I said, we were talking, I gave him my name, and he said, wait a minute, did you say Jack Davis? He's thinking. He mentioned my name in a book that he wrote.
He didn't know it was you. Now he knows that he was you.
No, I told him who I am, and he took my information from another book. The guy who wrote the book, it was based in part, the film JFK, Kevin Costner, was based in part on the book written by Jim Mars that gave me a big paragraph in his book because he interviewed me. He came to the radio station in Irving one time to be on a talk show, and our general manager said, well, one of our people, our employees, was in that theater. Why?
Wow.
I didn't know that. I didn't know anybody's still alive. He interviewed me, and that's why he put me in his book, because I told him the same story.
Thank you, Jack. You are just a great person. I appreciate that.
That's all I knew about it.
All right. Then, for the record, your name again, Mr. Jack?
Jack Davis.
From...
Keep that to ourselves.
all right.
Grew up in Oak Cliff, Texas.
Oh, beautiful Oak Cliff.
Oak Cliff.
Gracias, Rebote Don Chuy, Clínica Médica Santa Rita, Santa Rita, Salón de Eventos Especiales, Fiestas Don Chuy, Talleres Don Chuy, puestos 10.